A portion of this video is an ad for Candy Crush Saga. And this is the reason for today's video. I know it looks fake, but trust me, it is a real egg. It is huge. I've personally never seen an egg like this. To show you a better comparison of how big this thing actually is, here's a chicken egg. As you can see, it has little spectacles of different shades of green. And when I first looked at it, I thought it was some type of like diamonds or something. But when I took a closer look, check it out. It's actually that the outer shell is cracking. And as you can see, it gives a nice contrast between the outer shell and the inner shell. I'll tell you one thing, I have no idea how it's gonna taste, but it does look cool. Now, even though I wished it came from a dragon, it didn't. It came from this animal. It's an emu. It is the second largest living bird by height, obviously after its relative, the ostrich. But hey, make no mistake, this is a weird egg, and big. After doing quite a bit of research, this is not easy to open, and if I tap it, it does not crack like an egg. But hopefully I'll be able to open it up nice and slow. I first stabilized it with a bow, and using the back of my knife, I started to crack all the way around. Now in the beginning, it's gonna look like nothing is happening. You just gotta keep going. And when I tell you that this is like a rock, I mean it. Check out this sound. But nevertheless, if you keep going, you'll notice that my outer shell is starting to break. And that is exactly what I'm looking for. One thing that I've learned opening it up is that the outer shell is very hard, but the inner one is almost like a membrane, similar to a chicken egg. So once you crack open that first rock shell, the rest is easy. As you can see, I was able to open it exactly the way I want it. And check that out. It looks like it's 99% yolk. Whoa. Then I went ahead and transferred it to a bowl, and when I did, check it out. That, friends, is an enormous egg. And here's what it looks like inside. That's that membrane that I was talking about. It is just like a chicken egg. But now that I have this egg ready, I have no idea what to do with it. I'll tell you one thing, it is huge. And I can't wait to find out what it tastes like. But the cool thing about it is that I don't only have one. Yeah, I know, I'm going to be doing quite a few experiments with it, including sous vide, because I know you're going to ask me for it. So if you haven't subscribed to my other channel yet, make sure you do. With all that being said, I decided to make a quiche. Since I love it so much and it's easy to make, and I wonder how it's gonna taste. Remember, exact amount and ingredients always in the description down below for you. And the first thing we need is pie dough. You can make it your own or just buy a pre-bought like I did. To use it, the first thing you need to do is to poke some holes. That will allow it to expand. Now, the biggest mistake a lot of people make is not pre-cooking it. And if you just stick it in the oven just like this is what will happen. You see the edge right there? It just rolls up. And my pie dough is no longer even. So here's the right way to do it. Before pre-cooking it, make sure you lay down some aluminum foil. Then you want to fill it up with something heavy. You can use rice, beans, or anything that will fit. Bake it in the oven until it's halfway cooked. Mine was in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. And after discarding the rice, this is what I had left. Now there's left to do is to put it back in the oven to cook an additional 10 minutes. And as that's happening, I decided to do my filling. And obviously I started off with bacon. Cook the bacon until it's fully cooked. Once that's done, strain it and reserve. Using the same exact pan and taking advantage of that fond that was left from the bacon, throw in some onions. You want to deglaze it with white wine. Make sure you scrape the pan all the way through. You don't want to leave that goodness behind. Cook your onions until you have a nice golden brown color with them. Mine usually takes about 5 minutes. And once I was done, I was left with beautiful onions. The next thing to do is to make my quiche mix. So I threw in my giant emu egg, whisked it with a whisk, and let me tell you something, that is different. Check that out. What? That yolk is thick, boys. I'll tell you that right now. But anyway, you just gotta whisk it up. It took me about 5 minutes, but by the time I was done, it had the consistency of chicken egg. And that is something I'm very familiar with. The next thing to do is to throw in some heavy cream, whisk it a little bit more, and my quiche mix is ready. By that time, you can see that my pie dough is pre-cooked. As it's still hot, I like to brush it with egg white. And what that does is that it ensures that it will not get soggy. The next thing to do is to season my quiche mix. And for that, I just used a little bit of salt and freshly ground black pepper. Mix everything well and my mix is ready. To assemble it, it's pretty straightforward. You could really use any type of filling for this. But today I decided to go with bacon and onions. So after laying down my bacon, I threw in my caramelized onions, followed by a good amount of mozzarella cheese, and finished it off with my quiche mix. Keep in mind that once it's baking in the oven, it will rise, so avoid overfilling it. The last thing to do is to bake it. I like mine at 325 degrees Fahrenheit until all the egg is set. And this is what I'm talking about. Once I jiggle it, it no longer moves. That is when you know your quiche is completely done. And as I cut it open and then I take a nice piece of it, this is what it looks like. I'll tell you one thing, I'm excited to find out what it tastes. But first, we gotta make that steak and egg. And for that, I'm gonna be using this beautiful tomahawk. And if you ever cook the tomahawk steak, one thing that I do recommend is to dress it with butcher's twine. This will ensure it keeps its shape as it's cooking. And another thing to keep in mind is to brine it. That will make sure that your steak is seasoned all the way through. And to do that, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is to season it with salt and leave it in your refrigerator overnight. This will ensure that your steak is seasoned all the way through. The very next day, all there's left to do is to season it well with freshly ground black pepper and garlic powder. Even though the salt looks like it's completely gone, trust me, it out penetrated deeply into the meat. To ensure that I'll be cooking this steak to perfection, I'm using my wireless thermometer. And don't forget, this is steak and eggs. And to really taste just the flavor of it, I'll be making some scrambled. But now I say it is enough talking and it is time to make an amazing steak and eggs. So let's do it. This portion of my video is an ad by Candy Crush Saga. Candy Crush Saga is featuring real players inside the game. This special event celebrates Candy players and the reason they love to crush. Candy Crush Saga has designed some special levels inspired by these players. Pass each level to win rewards and complete them all to unlock Booster Bundle. Click down below, it is free to download. Play now and let me know what you think of this in-game feature and where do you play Candy Crush. Thanks Candy Crush Saga by King for the ad in this part of my video. Now, back to cooking. All right, everybody, here we have our feast. What do you think, Angel? We got steak, scrambled eggs, quiche, huh?
Looks interesting.
What do you think about that?
Oh, it's open.
By the way, this one right here is actually this. Have you ever seen an egg like that?
I've never seen an egg this big. What is it, dinosaur?
Yes, it is a dinosaur. Exactly.
Dinosaur?
It's the rarest egg in the world. I can even say rarest.
You clean this on the inside? It looks like there's never been anything in there.
The awesome thing about it is that you can save it. You know what I mean? And this is hard, everybody. Here, tap on it so they can. There you go. You see? It will not crack.
I would have broke a real egg.
Anyway, all right. So we have.
That's a real egg, though.
It is a real egg.
It would have broke a real small egg.
You know what? It is emu.
Oh, the little ostrich-looking thing.
Little?
Well, not little, but the ostrich-looking thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't wait to find out what it tastes like. So which one we're gonna go for first? Which one you wanna try?
Oh, let's go for.
We already know this is gonna be amazing, everybody. It is our favorite thing to you. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Tomahawk steak. You already know it's good, everybody. We don't have to tell you. That is amazing. Let's try the eggs. One for you, one for me. This is all within one egg. I tell you one thing, it smells the same. Smell like a regular egg. I'm wondering if it's gonna taste different. You ready?
I'm about to find out.
All right, by the way, just to make sure that you guys understand, in order to keep the taste itself, I only season it with salt and pepper, nothing else. Cheers, buddy.
Well, cheers.
Emu Egg.
Emu Egg. Tastes the same.
It tastes the same, or is it me, or is it creamier?
If there's a change, it's very slight.
Yeah, nothing crazy. It tastes like an egg, of course.
It does taste like scrambled eggs, like a regular scrambled egg. Maybe it has a little hint of a different flavor.
Yeah.
But it's nothing big.
No, nothing crazy. It tastes exactly the same, but I do feel like creamier. Maybe it's because of the yolk. The yolk is much bigger.
Denser?
Than, that too. It's denser, but it's much bigger than the egg whites.
So it comes with way more egg yolk than egg white?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. So I think it's like creamier. It tastes good.
Yeah, I want to try all the other stuff too. So what's going on?
Okay, let's go for the quiche. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. I love quiche. I love it.
I love quiche. I love it.
Now tasting everything the same, it really just tastes like a chicken egg.
That pie crust brings it all together.
Yeah, I agree. With all that being said, everybody, I hope you guys give it a try and have the opportunity to try something like this. It's very unique.
That is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But if you do get it, you should definitely make quiche with it.
By the way, you don't have to make an emu quiche. You can do just like a regular egg. Anyway, guys, these are the results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in anything I use, everything's always in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.